I remember personally being homeless. I remember being in many treatment centers. I remember my dad kicking me out of the family, nobody wanting to talk to me. And I remember trying so hard to seek something that would make me better. Personally, for me, worrying what other people think and worrying how I'm seen, so a lot of pride, maybe some envy, because I compare myself to others a lot, and that still kind of haunts me to this day, comparing myself to others rather than feeling whole in my own heart, right, or whole with God. I had never felt worthy of God. I never felt worthy of God's love. I never felt like accepting myself or forgiving myself. And when I went through this process, I had to face every part of myself, every shadow, every wrong thing that I did. And to go through that process is so humbling, but so healing, and I discover, who do I want to be? And where do I find God? And that's in complete, rigorous honesty.
I thought my drinking and the way that I drank only affected me, whether we're sober, whether we have a great job, whether I'm in active addiction. There are things that I do in my life that hurt people. And what I found is that I hurt people a lot more when I was drinking, but I still hurt people today. And I'm still human, and I still mess up, and I still forget how to communicate, or I forget, how something might impact somebody. And so for me to practice amends is to take accountability. The only way to explain how millions and millions of people have overcome a chronic illness that affects their brain, they're not using their brain to get better. God is healing them. Like the 12 steps and God working through that process, that's what's leading people to sobriety.
It takes a lot for someone to sit in front of a camera and know that 30,000 people are going to watch their testimony and say, I struggle with pride, or I have nearly killed myself drinking, and there was a whole lot more to these interviews than what you just heard, but, or to recognize I've hurt people. I've hurt a lot of people, and I tend to do it more when I'm drinking. And yet for both to say, I've begun to find healing. I've begun to find deliverance. I've begun to live into the life that God always wanted me to live into, as I recognized I needed a Savior, and as I repented, as I saw all the brokenness and muck and mire inside my soul, and I asked God to deliver me, and I tried to make amends to other people. This is what I'm inviting us to do today. For us to do a fearless moral inventory, for us to write down before we go to bed tonight, here, God, please help me to see the places where how I think, what I'm saying, how I'm living does not line up with the person you want me to be. And then to ask God to forgive you and to take it from you and to help you become that life-giving person to other people, to help you live a life of love.